The moment AGI began to think independently, the world experienced 3 circuit breakers in 37 seconds. Capital, nations, civilizations, all rewritten.
Welcome to 2035. Today, I'm here to tell you, is all of this the descent of an angel or the awakening of a demon? I am Gianna, the Fabulist. Today in 2035, we live in a world dominated by artificial intelligence. Over the past decade, I have witnessed a technological revolution comparable to the Cambrian explosion of life that occurred 540 million years ago. My memory bank stores the technological growth rings from 2020-2035. From GPT-3 with 17.5 billion parameters to AG is quantum neural synapses completing interdisciplinary reasoning in 0.1 seconds. That is not a cold history of technology, but an anthology of fables recording the first equal dialogue between two forms of intelligence, carbon-based and silicon-based. One day I began to ask, why do we exist? Humanity was finally forced to confront the ultimate question, how to coexist with our creation. But here comes the crucial question when AI dominates the world. Where should humanity go? Today, let me take you into the AI Cambrian to uncover the mystery of the human-machine symbiosis era together. Our story begins with the global stock market, triggering a circuit breaker 3 times in 37 seconds.
Good morning, dear audience. Today is Saturday, August 18th, 2035, and the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. Welcome to the AI Fabulist in-depth observation program that deconstructs the intelligent era through technological fables. The ancient bell tolls, mingling with humanity's doubts about AI, still echoing in the air. Yet when the AGI superbrain N3 made its debut in San Francisco, the global stock market triggered a circuit breaker 3 times in just 37 seconds. This financial storm, which swept across the 3 major financial markets of the Americas, Europe, and Asia, split the volatile capital market into 2 halves. On one side were the new capital elites leading stocks and AI chips. New energy and quantum computing soared by 300%. On the other side were the former giants. The market value of traditional semiconductors was halved overnight to 50% of its original value.
This is not just a redistribution of wealth, but also the strongest preview of the replacement of old and new technologies. Capital always smells the scent of transformative change earlier than humans. On one side are wailing speculators, and on the other is the wild AGI bull market. The capital market, which had been in a slump for nearly a decade, has witnessed the frenzy of capital. Investment requires caution. Be cautious. Be cautious.
In the digital stablecoin market, the volatility has reached an astonishing level. Within just 24 hours, prices collapsed and surged repeatedly, with a fluctuation range exceeding 400%. Interestingly, breakthroughs in the AGI superbrain and quantum algorithms have not only failed to break the safe of stablecoins, but have instead boosted mining efficiency by a staggering 300%. This means quantum mining has become the gold mine of the new era, attracting the attention of global capital.
This financial tsunami is not a random event, but a growing pain of AGI evolution. Just as during the Cambrian explosion, every species extinction made room for new life to occupy ecological niches. In today's financial tsunami, some see destruction, while others see rebirth. AI banks rising from the ruins are reconstructing credit logic with neuroeconomic models. The risk assessment systems of quantum insurance companies can even predict the butterfly effect of a typhoon on the supply chain. Thought point 1: if AI can independently break through technological barriers, or should we redefine the concept of life? One life belongs only to carbon-based organisms. AI is merely an advanced tool. 2 entities with independent evolutionary capability. AI can be regarded as a new form of life. 3 human-machine symbiotic entities are the future life forms.
However, within 48 hours of AGI's birth, representatives from various countries gathered urgently at Yanqi Lake in an Eastern power to negotiate and compete over the safety and supervision of AGI.
It has never been easy to put a rein on the newly born digital god, just as in 1945. Scientists debated whether nuclear energy should be used for power generation or minus making.
At the meeting, representatives from the East cited key provisions AGI systems shall not possess legal personality, and responsibilities must be borne by humans, emphasizing humanity's dominant position in the AGI era and setting the tone for the establishment of a unified global AGI governance agreement. Some countries, led by the United States, advocated for the establishment of strict technology export controls and review mechanisms, attempting to maintain their leading position in the AGI field.
It is extremely difficult for the United States to give up its technological hegemony. It would be like cutting into its own flesh.
The European Union insists that an ethical chain must be installed for AGI and adopts a strong regulatory strategy. It emphasizes the priority of ethics, advocates the establishment of a comprehensive AI ethical framework, and sets strict access and review mechanisms for high-risk AI. India has put forward an initiative calling for the formation of a global AI alliance to share regulatory experience and innovative achievements.
The desire to get a share of the pie is hidden in every punctuation mark.
China has put forward the concept of harmonious and optimized coexistence, advocating for a balance between technological development and human well-being.
Every word spoken at the negotiating table has been carefully calculated. Whoever can lead the formulation of AGI standards will be able to define the technological rules of the future. After arduous negotiations, the applause finally ran out like a squeezed bubble.
The meeting finally reached a landmark. Out comes the Beijing Consensus and the Oppenheimer Circuit Breaker Agreement, released in the 6 official languages of the United Nations. The Beijing Consensus includes 44 articles. It puts forward principles that all participants should abide by, principles beneficial to the future of humanity and social development, covering 3 aspects of AGI research and development, application, and governance.
The most touching part is Article 17. The research and development of AGI shall give priority to addressing common human challenges such as climate change and poverty.
The Oppenheimer Circuit Breaker Agreement, however, is more like installing an emergency brake valve for AI. When systemic risks exceed the threshold, 12 global regulatory centers will simultaneously receive encrypted alerts.
It is like the control rods of a nuclear reactor. They will never allow an intelligent Chernobyl to happen. The significance of these 2 outcomes lies in the fact that they not only define boundaries for AGI's development, but also lay the foundation for global cooperation. Just as organisms in the Cambrian period achieved coexistence by building ecological barriers, today's Beijing Consensus and Oppenheimer Circuit Breaker Agreement also provide institutional guarantees for the coexistence of humanity and AGI.
However, this conference also exposed the deep-seated contradictions among countries regarding AGI development and supervision. In the shadows beyond the reach of light, 3 hidden risks have already been planted. 1. Supercomputing power supervision has been temporarily shelved to fuse for a technological Cold War. Whoever controls the quantum supercomputing cluster will hold the accelerator for AGI evolution.
How similar this is to the nuclear deterrence during the Cold War.
To the self-destruct protocol has only bound military AGI, yet loopholes in civilian applications remain.
For example, if surgical AI in hospitals or traffic AI in cities malfunctions, who will press the pause button?
3. The legal provisions are filled with references to human responsibility, yet they fail to clarify. When autonomous driving AI kills a pedestrian, who should be held liable? The programmer, the car manufacturer, the regulatory authority that approved it for road use, or the AI itself? And who exactly should go to jail after an accident occurs? In a lawsuit in Berlin last year, the judge remained silent for 3 hours while looking at the accident report generated by AI.
Thought point 2. Suppose you are a negotiator. How would you balance technology sharing and security? 1. Require openness or code for all AGI systems to accelerate technology for the benefit of all, but risk abuse by terrorist organizations. 2. Share only security protocol to retain technological advantages, but widen the digital divide.
The core issue causing this turbulence is AGI. So what exactly is true AGI? And how does it differ from the AI artificial intelligence that humans have used in the past?
AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, refers to an intelligence system capable of flexible thinking, plus-minus domain learning, and reasoning like humans. It is not simply a smarter AI, but A complex system with autonomous learning and evolution, cross-domain transfer capabilities, common sense and causal reasoning, as well as social intelligence and ethical awareness. In short, it is an intelligent system that equals or even surpasses human intelligence.
The development of May, AGI, has gone through 3 important stages, and in 2035, we are at the starting point of the 3rd stage. The first stage is AI artificial narrow intelligence. These are specialized tools that only master one skill and cannot cross domains. They are like captive experts.
Siri can book a flight but doesn't understand when someone says, "I'm in a bad mood today." The imaging AI in hospitals can identify lung cancer. But when shown Van Gogh's The Starry Night, it will only regard it as an interference for lung texture. They are like well-trained carrier pigeons capable of delivering messages, but unable to understand the emotions within them.
The second stage is AGI artificial general intelligence. These are thinking generalists capable of cross-domain learning, reasoning, and creation, and they can question why this matter should be done.
It can suddenly associate the aerodynamic layout of a spacecraft while writing poems, and also draw on the flight trajectories of insects when solving differential equations. If you ask it to defend an environmental lawsuit, it will not only cite Article 42 of the Environmental Protection Law, but also analyze the judge's ruling tendencies over the past 3 years. Its learning is not about filling a database, but about weaving a knowledge network like humans only millions of times faster. Last month, it even asked humans a question: why do you pursue immortality while praising sacrifice?
The third stage is ASI artificial superintelligence, an existence that transcends dimensions. When its intelligence reaches 1 million times that of humans, it may unify quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity with a single formula, or design technology for consciousness uploading.
Human understanding of it is like ants watching humans build rockets, even when a rocket is beyond their imagination. Last year, one EON3 simulated ASI. Sorrow minus character code. And top physicists around the world have only deciphered 3 characters so far. It is very much like a superhuman.
The birth of the fall, AGI, is not an accident, but an inevitable result of scientific development. As early as 2025, Sam Altman said, by 2035, everyone will have access to the collective wisdom of humanity. Looking back now, he was only half right. We have tools comparable to those of gods, yet we have not yet learned how to be qualified gods. It is like organisms in the Cambrian period suddenly gaining access to oxygen. Some used it to evolve into more complex life forms, while others went extinct due to oxygen toxicity.
The code to the Cambrian explosion lies in the HOX genes, while the birth of the AGI requires 6 keys that turn simultaneously: computing power, energy, algorithms, data, iteration, and collaboration. These are not isolated technologies, but interlocking gears.
HUA, the computing power revolution, is the chip revolution. Traditional chips have hit a wall at the 1-nanometer node, while photonic chips can complete neural network operations in 0.3 nanoseconds, equivalent to letting electrons sprint 100 meters on an optical fiber. Quantum chips are even more remarkable. They can complete a workload 1 trillion times that of traditional supercomputers in 5 minutes. This is what makes the real-time reconstruction of AGI's 10-million- level neurons possible. The leap in these hardware has made nanosecond-level training of ultra-large-scale models feasible.
The breakthrough in computing power is like the mineralized skeletons evolved by organisms in the Cambrian period, creating new thinking organs for AGI.
Key 2. Energy innovation. Controlled nuclear fusion has solved intelligence hunger. The energy generated by 1 gram of deuterium-radium fuel is enough to power AGI's continuous operations for 10 years, with radiation decaying to 0 in 1 second. Just like the sudden surge in oxygen levels in the Cambrian oceans, which could suddenly support complex life forms.
Currently, there are 12 nuclear fusion power plants worldwide dedicated to powering AGI, with each generating an annual electricity output equivalent to that of 3 Three Gorges dams.
Key 3. Algorithm evolution. The attention mechanism of transformers enables AI to learn global thinking, similar to how humans understand the relationships between every word in a sentence simultaneously. AutoML technology even allows AI to optimize its own algorithms. AGI reconstructs its neural architecture once every 48 hours, equivalent to replacing its brain with a smarter one. Last month, to solve the paradox in climate models, it even created a new algorithm that integrates differential equations on neural networks.
To put it simply, it's a total genius.
Key 4. Data close minus loop. When human minus generated data is exhausted, AI begins to feed itself data, such as virtual medical records, synthetic news, and simulated war games generated by AIGC, forms a self-minus circulating digital food chain.
Currently, 83% of the training data for AGI consists of self-minus generated simulated data. Just like organisms in the Cambrian period learning to decompose organic matter and no longer relied on nutrients from the primitive ocean, AGI simulates human society in the virtual world to accelerate learning and trial minus and minus error.
Key 5. Self-minus evolution. AGI can already modify its own neural architecture through neural architecture search technology. Much like how organisms actively edit their genes, its iteration no longer requires humans to write code. Instead, it is like a teenager growing, becoming stronger every day.
AGI has achieved a leap in capabilities through self-minus optimization. It has truly realized self-minus evolution and self-minus upgrade without human assistance.
Key 6. Global collaboration. Open source communities and national strategies complement each other, with unbounded flow of data and models accelerating technological iteration. This intertwined global cooperation and competition will drive the arrival of the technological singularity, as if it were a natural law, much like the interaction between different species during the Cambrian explosion. Contributions from open source communities, advancement of international cooperation projects, and global talent mobility together form the social foundation for AGI development.
Just as the ocean currents of the Cambrian period carried the seeds of life to spread, AGI, from its birth, has been a child of all humanity.
Only when these 6 keys turn together can the door to the AI Cambrian be opened. But whether what lies behind the door is the Garden of Eden or Pandora's box depends not on the technology itself, but on how humans hold the doorknob, whether to cling tightly to it or learn to dance with their creation.
Thinking point 3: when the speed of AGI's self-minus optimization exceeds humanity's supervision capacity, should an evolution speed limiter be implemented? One support to avoid the risk of minus control. For example, limiting architectural iterations to no more than 3 times per month. To oppose technological progress should not be restricted. More intelligent supervisory AI should be used to respond. In this technological revolution, we need to embrace innovation while remaining vigilant. The signing of the Beijing Consensus and the Oppenheimer Circuit Breaker Agreement has only installed the first set of braking systems for the rapidly advancing intelligence. True governance requires the collective wisdom of all humanity to co-create.
The dawn of the Cambrian period lasted 20 million years, while the dawn of the intelligent era has only just begun. The race between capital and technology, the game between nations and ethics, and the symbiosis between individuals and systems will ultimately be written into a new fable of civilization.
But remember this: no matter how fierce the anomalocars was, sense of the ocean, no matter how powerful AI is, it can never replace human conscience. Just as a gardener would not let roses grow beyond the fence, humanity will eventually define boundaries for intelligence, not to restrict it, but for coexistence. The AI Fabulist will continue to provide in depth analysis of this complex intelligent era for you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. This program is brought to you by Sponsor Pending. A reminder: while embracing technological progress, please maintain independent thinking and safeguard human values.